You're Mojang. I'm an Xbox gamer. I mostly play on PC now, but I decided to jump on Xbox One Edition. The reason why I did is because I miss when I used to be in survival. And although I do make a new survival here and there on the new Minecraft, I don't seem to stay on it for the months or years on end that I would on the Xbox One and Xbox 360 edition. They might seem like they're the same on paper, and I wouldn't blame you for thinking that. There are tons of differences between them, from the way that AIs act, to simple immersive things like particles falling from the ceiling when you're in a cave, or the way the music plays and the music that it does play in here give you a different feeling of immersion than on the new Minecraft. The AI are overall smarter, and you can see by the way they move, and especially when you're in combat. In the Bedrock edition, I've grown stale of fighting mobs. They seem so simple, and not necessarily easier or harder, although I do think they're easier. They just sit there. A good example is the skeleton. In the new edition of Minecraft, the skeleton just sits there. It doesn't really do much, it just sits there and fires at you. When you are fired at by a skeleton in this edition, they maneuver around, and although that might be just a little thing, that's what gives the skeleton slightly more character, and it's also what gives the skeleton its slightly more difficult feeling. I overall die a lot quicker when I have no armor on this edition than I do when I'm using my controller on Bedrock. That's one thing that I noticed. I don't fully know or understand the reasons behind it, but I do know that the new edition of Minecraft, the mobs, the AI, are built around Pocket Edition. It's built around using a phone. And now that I both use a controller and a keyboard for when I play Minecraft, I feel like nothing's a challenge. Which definitely dumbs down the Minecraft experience. The other thing is the world generation. The world generation is completely different. For example, this has more advanced and more hilly generation, as you can see, and more grass. More trees. The animals feel more alive. Another issue that I noticed is mobs are easier to kill on Bedrock, but not on Xbox One Edition. They're easier to kill with your fist. And I'm mostly talking about livestock. Although a little change, it makes the game ever so easier to play, and just continues to water down the experience for Xbox One and all consoles and keyboard and mouse. I know Bedrock is the edition that's supposed to replace the rest of the editions, but how can you do that when you don't answer other people's wants and needs? I loved Xbox One Edition, and I grew up on Xbox 360 Edition, and what kept me playing this game forever was the constant updates. I was excited for Bedrock, but I was also cautious. Playing the new Bedrock update when it came out, I realized, and I wondered why is it harder for me to just simply sit down and play a survival? Like, why is this just feeling more mentally boring? And I think it's an important thing you should think about, especially since, well, I think keeping your player base active and actually enjoying the game is important. That's why I recommend Mojang hiring 4J to help with Bedrock once you port it over to PS4, to allow them to basically give us what we want. You stopped updating the game, which I don't think was fair. I'm assuming it was a business protocol, yes, but forcing us to play the more inferior game with dumbed down AI and, well, crappy world generation, the two things that, well, are mostly built around Pocket Edition. There are obviously going to be changes between the console edition, Pocket Edition, AI-wise, how the engine runs the game and so on, and the world generation. But why do we have to suffer through that? I understand you're trying to unify everyone, but why do we have to play the inferior game, or inferior in our minds? I'm slowly losing my urge to jump on Minecraft and just play survival. I make Minecraft servers now, which keep me occupied on Bedrock, but I still miss the feeling of survival, and I wonder why I can't just sit down and do it. But I'm able to do that on Xbox One Edition. I have fun just walking around, which is something I can't say with the very generic world generation of Bedrock. A infinite world, but it's just a puddle. To me, it feels like the Xbox One Edition, when you look at the world generation and everything that it gives you a feeling of, well, amazing. It gives you a feeling of exploration. And with the generic world generation of Minecraft Bedrock, you just don't get that. You're trying so hard to prepare this for when you try to get everyone on Java Edition ported over, but I don't think the higher-ups, nor Mojang, the people who work on Bedrock, understand how much and how far they have to go. And what hurts me even more is they forced us down this path far before Java, which I don't think they should do. I don't think that they should just ruin our fun for the sole purpose of making more money off of microtransactions. Why not actually make it fit me? That's why I'm no longer going to be paying for microtransactions. That's why I no longer want to play the new version of Minecraft, but I'm kind of forced to in order to get the new updates. Simply because it's more boring and I get bored of it quicker. And plus, special key features of that edition that I'm used to are gone. For example, the fact that hearts drop from the mobs that I attack. The fact that regeneration works slightly different, where when you're sprinting, it takes up less hunger bars when sprinting, but when you're regenerating health, it takes up more hunger bars, but regenerates quicker. Things like that completely change the game for me. And like I said, the particles that falls in caves, the way that the mobs act, just these key features that gives this version of Minecraft its charm and makes me prefer it over the new edition. I don't think that we should be just all restricted because of them. Because although I think that although I think Pocket Edition shouldn't be forgotten, I also think that it's not smart to alienate your main fan base, which is PC and console. Little things like the fact that you can't just bump into or like walk through sheep. Little things that make the world feel more alive, but still Minecraft. Not necessarily realistic, but just more alive. In its own way, this version of Minecraft is superior. And that's one thing that Bedrock can't take away from it. So, why do you all insist on just forcing us down Bedrock when you don't even have it prepared? Not to mention how unoptimized the Bedrock edition is on Xbox One. The fact that you only can have 22 chunks, but my 1030, a weaker graphics card that's weaker than an Xbox One, can get up to 44 chunks. The fact that I can start it up in seconds on my old PC with the 1030 in it, but you can't do the same with the Xbox One. It's unbalanced, and it seems like you're just pumping new content out and you're just instantly trying to make ports for Switch and Xbox One without even catering to us or understanding what we like about it. What I feel from Minecraft Bedrock is Bedrock has no soul. And I mean that. Bedrock has absolutely no soul to it, it feels. Little key missing features that they didn't even think about adding were the little things like the bar complete straight to the left, the new bar when you put something in it that tells you what's exactly in there and so on. It's a little feature, but I think it's something that also gives it its charm. Bedrock to me feels like 1.7 with some ported mods of the new updates in it. It feels unupdated. It feels like it has no love to it, and it mostly feels like a cash cow, mostly because of the store and the way it feels. There's really no good feeling that Bedrock gives us. That charm that legitimately makes Minecraft is gone. And that could lead to a frightening future. Well, in the future. You alienated most of your Xbox One fan base, and that's why the community is split half and half. It's split half and half just like the combat update on Java. But this time, it's worse. Yeah, you were able to take advantage of the kids, but I don't know if you will continue to have a growing fan base at the speed that you used to, or even contain a fan base. Without the love in Bedrock, you have nothing but a heartless game. Just something that is simply Minecraft, but not Minecraft at the same time. Those extra features that make Minecraft. Because sadly, we have to look at it as this, alright? Minecraft Pocket Edition is literally Bedrock. Bedrock is a Pocket Edition port for all the things. They're forcing us to play the literal inferior versions that had to make sacrifices just for it to work. Why do we have to go through that? It's what will make the game suffer long term. This type of world generation, you will never see as long as we are being held down by Pocket Edition, but not just Pocket Edition, but the heartless developers. The feeling of heartlessness I get from Bedrock is unexcusable. There's no love that went into Bedrock. It's just a port. It feels to me that the reason why they have 50 people on the Bedrock edition, but only around 10 developers on Java, is because I feel like the Java edition people are the ones who are calling the shots and putting and implementing the new ideas into Java edition. But then the Bedrock developers, the 50 Bedrock developers, are mostly there to help with performance, help try to catch Bedrock Edition up to Java Edition by implementing things like the new modding API they have, and just porting it to other consoles and coming out with the super duper graphics pack and all that. But when they're focused so much on trying to make it comparable to Java Edition, so they can take the Java Edition players, they don't understand how there is a legitimate charm to Java Edition and a legitimate charm to Xbox One Edition that Bedrock is missing. Because I feel like the Bedrock team, like I said, is built of nothing but porters. People who update the game, but don't know how to put charm in the game. That's why I respect 4J, and that's why I respect the original Mojang team on Java. That's something that can't be found in Bedrock, and the reason that I do not trust them. Look at Bedrock yourself. Look at the simplistic fucking world generation. look at how the soundtracks play in it compared to Xbox One Edition soundtracks. Look at the little features that are literally missing in Xbox or in Bedrock that isn't in Xbox One Edition or Java Edition. Little quirks, little things that they have, like the hearts dropping from the sheep is a good example. The fact that there are coordinates on my map to the left to make it less cheating than Bedrock, because Bedrock you just pop the achievements up. On here you would need to have a map to do it, so at least it was, you know, somewhat understandable. Little quirks here and there, like the fact that instead of brightness we have gamma, which makes Minecraft have its own cool look to it, like I have on now. All these little reasons give it, and look at the skeleton. You see how it's just moving from side to side? That slightly more intelligent AI that also gives it its personality and makes it slightly harder. Look at this. Hope I don't die. And I'm dead. Fantastic. Off now. But there's just so much to it. And this is another thing I hate. How much they try to force it down people's throat. And the fact that they literally ruined the Minecraft menu screen for the sole purpose of promoting their inferior product that they're forcing us all down. The fact that they stopped updating the Xbox One Edition for the sole purpose of doing this. I'm making this video not because I'm hating the new Minecraft. Well, I kinda am, but not because I just hate it and I want it to fail, but because I want them to make it better. I want them to understand that we don't have to put up with this. I'm sure that there are some kind of optimization things that they could do to make it where at least when a Xbox One player hosts a world, or when a PC player hosts a world, that it has legitimately stronger and better world generation. Maybe that's a setting that they can put on the world before they start it, like warning. This can cause a lot more performance issues and you might need to lower the, you know, world generation if you do this, or something like that. Or like lower the chunks loaded or something like that. But I know they will never do anything like this, and even if they do, it won't be enough, because like I said, they don't put their hearts in it. They're just porting it to port it. Nothing else. Where does that leave us? It leaves us having to put up with it. And for the people who don't look very deep into it, I'm not looking deep enough, but for the people who don't look deep into it at all, those people will never understand why it feels different in a bad way or a good way. They'll never understand it. So they'll just sit on it, continuing to try to figure out what that is so they can continue to have fun, not understanding the big changes that it actually causes. I understand why they did it, but they need to cater to their main fan base. It would have been smarter to just make a completely new edition separate the Pocket Edition. A new edition that is actually there to take over PC, or to take over PC and console. The one that actually gives us love. And I'm not saying it's all for the fact that we're on Pocket Edition, but it's one of the reasons. But the bigger reason is just, like I said, the heartless developers. And you're probably saying, well, why do you think they have heartless developers? Look at Pocket Edition. Look at Console Edition. Look at Java Edition. Console and Java have legitimately their own acts of love and acts of kindness in them. Their own thing that gives them a vibe. The fucking battle mode in Xbox One Edition. Or Console Edition. Things like that. Their own spleef. Their own unique spleef that has their own feeling. I've heard even Toycat talk about how, you know, the minigames that 4J have made even gives him his own feeling that he enjoys. And that is true, and it should be enjoyed for the way it is. I don't know. I guess we'll never know And I mean it when I say we probably will never get this feeling again. Because this video is going to go nowhere. No one's going to see it. No one's going to care about my opinion. And Minecraft's going to just slowly become more heartless and heartless. It's starting to feel like Call of Duty in a sense. Yes, Call of Duty might be fun. I'm not saying it isn't. But now they're just heartless. They just pump out a new Call of Duty and make money. They don't care about the feeling it gives you, which effectively will hurt Minecraft because Minecraft's not Call of Duty. Minecraft's an experience, and when you take away from that experience, you're taking away from Minecraft in general. I hope y'all enjoyed this video of me ranting. Anyways, yeah.